Last year, my brain went like... Except really it didn't, and you would have figured that out if you read the extremely sophisticated dissertation, Liar Liar, Pants on Fire. I read a lot of books this year and I've realised something. Reading a bedtime story before drifting off to dreamland was fun as a little child person, but we no longer live in an ancient cave tribe. If you're going to experience a deep and traumatic story, it has to be in 4K. Non-fiction. Now this is where the real fun is. But I'm not talking about the journal of a wheat peasant from the 1200s that can barely spell. I'm talking about self-development. Now, if you're like most people, you're part of the misguided group that have mistakenly placed self-improvement books in the same category as buying your first beta car. You can finally taste freedom. Your song's cranking, the wind's in your hair, but as soon as you get to a corner, your engine suddenly ejects, the brakes cut themselves, and you end up hurtling off a cliff wondering where it all went so wrong. And look, I'll agree, a lot of the books in the self-development category really give the genre a bad reputation. But if you can find the right ones, with lessons you can actually apply to your life, they are easily the most efficient way to learn from the most successful people that have come before you. I don't care who you are, I was born lazier than you. My blobfish genetics command me to be slack, or I'll waste the energy I need to do my very important work of floating around on a seabed. Not only that, I'm also Australian. Now I can do what I want with my energy, but even though I had ambitions and things I wanted to accomplish, it was really tough to get out of that initial rut of needing to be constantly entertained by something. Atomic Habits is the first initial push most of us need to get out of a ditch that is so easy to get stuck in, going into the psychology of why you aren't getting things done, and giving you manipulation strategies you can use on yourself to break the laziness cycle. If you've never read a self-improvement book before, this is the one to start with. Laziness isn't the only thing I picked up from Australia. I'll rarely bite my tongue and I never waste anyone's time. However, these are the traits of an Aussie bogan, and bogans have a very minimal place in society. Most of them are secluded to their worn down rentals where they drink beer and smack talk people they knew 20 years ago. How to Win Friends and Influence People is an ancient book filled with the most essential social skills needed to be successful in everyday life. There are many habits the unsophisticated gentleman has that the well-adjusted social sultan does not, and the difference is night and day. If you've heard of this book, you should have read it by now, and if you haven't, this is your sign to go pick it up.
Women.
Chances are, if you've come from a poor or middle class family, the strategies in an investing book might be very new to you, and you need to start implementing them as soon as possible. The difference between applying solid, practical steps now compared to just a few years later is absolutely ridiculous. Even if you're not from Australia, The Barefoot Investor is the best way to get your finances in order. Or if you need a more country neutral book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich is also good and covers similar tactics. Not too long ago, life kept you on your toes. You couldn't afford to get distracted. Otherwise, monkey steals your hat, camel drinks your water, and while you're dealing with that, the Eggman comes and steals all your eggs. So now you don't even have any eggs. Deep work goes over just how important it is to get into a focused state. In a world where the faster you can learn and adapt, the more high value you become, it's essential that you learn how to study effectively. Trust me, read this book and you'll never have your eggs stolen again. The charisma myth goes into the more intricate side of social skills. If How to Win Friends and Influence People is the bench press of social skills, the charisma myth is neck curls. Sure, it doesn't work the 50 different muscles used in a compound exercise, but your neck really sticks out. And I know how badly you want that Guinness World Record for most consecutive nods. If you're interested in body language and making conversations flow smoother, this is the definitive guide. Masculinity is dead. Love no longer exists. The world is turning into a collection of neutral globs that have no morality or opinions. Everyone loves the new Marvel movie and they hate Kanye West, except for his music and when he says something funny. Joe Biden can't run America. Let's all vote for The Rock instead. There's a select group of strong men that talk openly about regaining our original masculinity. Andrew Tate, Hamza, Jordan Peterson. These men have differing opinions and values in a lot of ways, but they all firmly believe in the hard-working, high-value, masculine man. The man that reaches his full potential and then keeps going. If you've ever listened to what they've been saying and been interested in hearing how and why they think the way they do, without everyone creating drama around the topic, The Way of the Superior Man is a book you absolutely must read. It goes step by step into how to become Giga Chad, breaking down feminine and masculine energies in a very understandable way, and going over exactly what it means to be the man. There is so much competition between the genders, and it would be easy to think this book is just about men trying to be be better than women. But it negates all of that, carefully weaving through the different topics. If you're a man or a boy trying to become a man, you need to read this book, and then read it again. But you also really need to read the classic, A Lie Don't Care Who Tells It.